So why don't you explain to anybody that's watching what a short sale actually is?
A short sale is where the bank is owed more money than what your house is currently worth. And when you sell the house with closing costs and realtor fees and transfer tax fees, the bank is not getting all that they're owed. So unless you're coming up with your own money out of your pocket, the bank has to agree to take that loss.
Can I ask you something? Doesn't a buyer or seller have to ask for principal forgiveness? Is that always given?
No.
It's not.
It's principal forgiveness right now is given because of the Fair Debt Forgiveness Act,
Okay.
which is in place until the end of this month. Which means if your house was your primary home, the bank at the end of it will issue a 1099-C. A 1099 will come to you just like you if you won lotto or got a bonus. It's taxable. Under the Fair Debt Forgiveness loan, when your accountant does your taxes in that year, he has to file a separate form saying we participated in an alternative to a foreclosure short sale. And as such, this was my primary loan, and any debt or any 1099 I received should be forgiven.
And that's filed with a 982 form with the IRS, correct?
Yeah, it's something slash
Credit, yeah.
FP, whatever. Plain and simple, I tell all my people, the year, if you're doing a short sale, if you've done your own taxes, this is the year you're getting an accountant.
Yeah.
Unless you are an accountant. This is the year you need to make sure. On the other hand, if it's not your primary residence and it's an investment home, a second home, there are ramifications. The 1099 will come. It's not forgiven. So you need to check with your accountant, because on the sale, all your depreciation and all your losses come forward, and you will be able to offset that 1099 according to them. There are people that have more losses on a house than whatever 1099 they're going to get. You know, the house was worth $600,000 when they bought it. They only took out a mortgage for $300,000, and now the house is worth $200,000. Well, they have $300,000 of their own money into the deal, plus improvements and everything else. So that loss will be offset. But it is, if you're in a situation where you have to have a short sale and it's your only alternative, you need to check with an attorney, check with an accountant, make sure everything you have and everything you got is up to date with both of them, and ask the questions. What's going to happen? You know,
Is it different from state to state, or does the Fed treat it the same?
it's a federal 1099 loss, and the qualification of a principal home should be the same through state to state.
Mm-hmm.
It's the difference on a recourse state or a non-recourse state where it gets a little funky as to, do you want them to be able to foreclose or not foreclose? You know, there's always alternatives. I mean, I only know New York. That's what I'm licensed in. That's where I practice. I tell everybody out of state, you know, family members and everybody else, well, what happens if you really need to ask an attorney in that state? We're not a deed in lieu state or deed in trust state. We're a deed state. We are very borrower friendly here. Hence the reason it takes 2 to 3 years to foreclose on somebody. Where in other states, they're foreclosing on people in 60 days.